All right, everybody. So we're a little over a year into Donald Trump's second term as president of the United States, and we all know he positioned himself as the crypto president, aiming to make America the crypto capital of the world, which he surprised everybody today at Davos by going hard, talking about Bitcoin, talking about crypto legislation, talking about wanting to pass the bill as soon as possible. So I thought I would share a clip today from his little speech at the conference. So let's go on and I'll share my screen. Let's hear what he had to say.
Of the world. And to that end, last year, working to ensure America remains the crypto capital of the world. And to that end, last year, I signed the landmark Genius Act into law. Now Congress is working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom.
All right, so he wants to unlock new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom. Now, a lot of us would argue with all the chaos over the past year that we are far from reaching that, and it is an ambitious goal, but apparently he wants to make it happen. So I wanted to kind of go over today the pros and cons of the past year of his crypto administration. Obviously, today's been a bit chaotic with the EU suspending its trade deal with the US, but then Trump cancels tariffs on the EU amid the Greenland framework deal. And then we've noticed over the past several months that Bitcoin's basically just fallen flat on its face. It's been trading within the 80K to 95K range. A lot of liquidations happening. It's not really going anywhere. And then we've continuously seen new all-time highs for gold and silver. It's like all-time high, a new all-time high every day after day after day. Now, this is highlighting how uncertainty is favoring safe haven assets right now over risk on assets. And so let's take some time, go over the pros and cons. Let's see how Trump's doing in his first year as America's very first ever pro-crypto president, just to keep things in perspective. So number one pro, as he mentioned in that video, he is working hard to attain regulatory clarity and structure frameworks for crypto. So last year, he did sign the Genius Act for stablecoin guidelines, and this includes audits and transparency, paving the way for banks to jump in and add real credibility. However, the con right now is we're still lacking a lot of regulatory framework and credibility. So that's been going on for the past year. The Clarity Act remains bogged down in Senate battles. And it sounds like Eric Trump is saying banks are doing everything in their power to block crypto legislation. But then the Trump administration is also saying that after it passes, banks will go all in on crypto. So I want to share my screen again and share a little clip of what Eric Trump had to say about that.
And have it sit there and clip interest off of it over the course of a long weekend, as opposed to letting you just efficiently move that money using modern day technology, and have it in a separate wallet 2 seconds later. They want to be able to use their money. They want to be able to arbitrage their money. And so, the big banks are doing everything they can to stop some of the crypto legislation for obvious reasons. Why? The big banks have been an absolute monopoly over our financial system.
So pro number two, there was a Bitcoin strategic reserve created by Donald Trump via executive order, which secured over around 200,000 seized coins as a national digital gold buffer that's off limits for sale and will basically back long-term stability and inflation protection. However, a con that we've seen are these major tariff threats on China and Europe, plus wild moves like pushing for Greenland, sparking NATO and EU crashes, sending troops to Venezuela, nabbing Maduro. And these are all spiking a lot of uncertainty, wiping billions from stocks and crushing risk assets like crypto. However, we do have a pro number three, lightened enforcement. So previous administrations jailed and charged crypto builders while the Trump admin has pardoned them. including halting SEC actions against heavyweights like Coinbase and Binance. And today also sparks the 1-year anniversary of Ross Albright's being fully pardoned as the creator of Silk Road, which was a major victory for crypto advocates fighting against government overreach. So I did want to share my screen with you. So you can see here, Ross Albright says, 1 year ago today, a prison guard banged on my cell door and said, "You're free." After more than 11 years under a life sentence, I walked out of max security prison with Leif Erikson, the plant I was growing in my cell. Leif and I are so grateful for our second chance at life. Nice to see that he's happy and he looks really good there. And we hope the best for Ross Albright's future. Now, that's great that they are lightening up on enforcement for crypto builders. However, a con, like we keep seeing Trump's family and insiders, it doesn't look good when you launch a meme coin right before inauguration. You basically pull a rug pull, the Melania meme coin too, and suck liquidity from all the altcoins, and now they're down 94% to 99%. And World Liberty Fi also hauled in $1.4 billion in profit, fueling ethics alarms and pay-to-play suspicions as everyday investors get hammered. But overall, I do think that Trump handed crypto some very key wins. We did see an initial $1.2 trillion surge in digital assets in 2025 early on, right after he was elected. But then tariffs, looming wars, government shutdowns, and rampant uncertainty have fueled chaos and a lot of pain for holders. So as the world gets bumpier, gold and silver, I think, will just continue to be the go-to hedge while crypto awaits its turn. Is it a net win overall? Well, it's still debatable, but long-term with a focus on innovation and adaptation and potential liquidity surge in 2026, we do have reasons to stay hopeful for the crypto space, but that's a topic for another video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Until then, take care.